Jazz. Alright, so boom. The big coming Carlos said he had a late pregame and I could pull up on him. Tryna roll. For real? Bet. Pull up to the pregame. Yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Hey. Pull up to the pregame. Yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Hey. Catch a vibe, come and meet the team. Come and kick it with your fave 3. Chop it with us, come and join the stream. Trust me, y'all, it's must see. It's a culture party if you partaking. Hottest podcast, it ain't no debating. It's ringing off cause it's so engaging. Let's keep it y'all. You won't find this on no other page. This kind of talk, this kind of cloth right here is tailor-made. Tryna have fun, we the plug then. It's for the people so the culture win. Need an outlet, then tap in. Come tap in. We keep it fresh with the content. We even got Bash Stop from Carolina Blitz. And Shot from P&P, they're a perfect fit. Cause what's the point of a pregame if it ain't lit? It's lit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the pregame. It's your boy Carlo, aka. That was my jam, Bash, that back in the day.
I couldn't hear it.
Couldn't hear it? Oh, I was vibing over here. Don't worry about it. It was Charlie Low. What you talking about?
Okay.
I added that in there. It might be too loud, but it's okay. I was still vibing though. Vashti, what's up with you?
Oh, I'm chilling. I'm good.
Good to see you. Look, we got an extra day of Black History Month, so happy leap day. You know, we got an extra day in Black History Month this year. So welcome everybody to the pregame. It's lit tonight. I'm excited. Come catch a vibe, and while you edit, like, comment, and subscribe. Vashti, you've had a weekend. You've had a week. You've been everywhere.
Yeah, not everywhere, but yeah, I got to spend one day in Indy at the combine before I had to be back here to handle some family business. But yeah, it's been a busy week.
For sure. I definitely want to dig into a little bit of the combine later on and everything. But before, you already know I'm going to ask. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I want y'all to answer this question too. You know, when we come to a pregame, you can't come empty-handed, right? So if you are new here, right, make sure you subscribe. We got 108 subscribers, Vashti, so we are rolling. But we definitely want more. We want everybody to pull up to the pregame. So what we say, pull up to the pregame, and I'm gonna ask you what you're pulling up with. I'm not saying what you're pulling up with in terms of an actual object, but in terms of like your week, right? Like, what are you pulling up with? So, for instance, you pulling up with some positivity, you pulling up with some energy. I think every time I see it in the chat, they're always talking about pulling up with some energy. But I'm gonna start with you, Vashti. What are you pulling up with today?
Gratefulness.
Say that one more time.
Gratefulness.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Gratefulness.
I'm pulling up with. I love it. Talk to me about it.
No, I mean, I'm just grateful. Grateful for safe travels, grateful for family, grateful for friends. So I'm just grateful.
I love it. Gratefulness, gratitude, it goes a long way. I love it. What am I pulling up with? I'm pulling up with I'm pulling up with some energy. I'm pulling with some fun. Like, I'm excited for tonight. Tonight's totally different than what we usually do. We don't usually have one topic where we dive really deep into it, but I think it was just too much tea, too much spice, too much going on in this show that just took over the world for a moment. And so I'm excited to go through this. But before we get into it, everybody who's on IG Live watching us right now, come join us on YouTube. If you want to see your comments pull up like this, see somebody's pulling up with opinions on Love is Blind. I love it. We may add some people on to hear your thoughts on some couples. So if you have some strong opinions on some of these couples, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You can come in. You don't have to have your camera on. We want to see you, right? But you don't have to have your camera on. Just be mindful of what you say, because these are human beings. This is a reality TV show. So you may run into these people.
So
I don't care. I'm just telling y'all.
They chose to be on a reality show that is on Netflix, so they will catch the smoke if need be.
Oh no, it ain't no if need be. There's definitely some smoke to be caught. There's definitely some smoke to be caught. We're gonna have some fun tonight. All right, so let's start off with our quick. All right, so boom. Indy. You were in Indy. A lot happened for the combine. I mean, look, I've been looking at my Twitter all the way until 7:30, low key, and it's a lot of stuff going on still. One thing you said last time you were on Vashti last week, you were saying a lot of things happen during the combine, right? Yeah. A lot of things go on. You meet a lot of people. You see a lot of potential trades. Example for everyone is the Bryce Young. What happened last year? That all started in the combine last year. How did everything go? I know you were only there for a day, but a lot happened that day.
I wish I was there for longer. So basically, I was able to speak with Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, and then there was a Women in the NFL networking event, and just regular, just like hanging out. I was able to meet and speak with, and I won't name any names, but a defensive coach, several scouts.
Nice.
And so just, talking to people affiliated with the team, the thing that stuck out to me the most was Canales. I was extremely impressed by Canales and how he spoke about football, how he seemed to have a very clear plan. And you got to know, and I'm not hating on anyone, but we're coming from a regime with Frank Reich and even Matt Rule, where we didn't really get to dive into the details. So Frank Reich was, we're not going to talk too much about it. We're going to keep it close to vest. But, Dave Canales broke down how long, his plans for Bryce Young as far as not holding on to the ball long. He was very clear about, I asked him what his kind of philosophy is, and every coach has the combine is a lot, so they interview a lot of players, they watch these guys go through these workouts, and then there's also talks amongst agents and other front office personnel. So, I asked Canales what his draft philosophy is, and he basically was very candid and said, look, I'm not personal with these guys, so I'm going off the film. And my goal is to challenge the roster and challenge the players on this team. So you could be a guy who was a starter, and we might draft somebody who can take your spot.
Yeah.
And so I remember seeing that a lot during the John Fox era. There would be a player, and then they would draft somebody and be like, oh, that's their replacement. And I guess as a vet, you have to use that to fuel yourself. But he also said that statistically, rookies do not come in and make an immediate impact on their team. So I thought that was interesting as well, because, don't look for, everybody's like, trade your picks and get a first round pick, as if a first round pick is going to come in and make an immediate impact.
Right.
Look at what happened with Bryce Young. It rarely happens. CJ Stroud is an anomaly. Okay. Even Cam Newton came in and he didn't make the playoffs his rookie year. He was offensive rookie of the year, had an incredible rookie season, but it's very rare that a rookie comes in and has an immediate impact on a team the way CJ Stroud did. So more oftentimes it takes some time for them to acclimate themselves and get used to the league. And what you also don't want is a guy to flash in the pan and then fizzle out. So they're both sides to the coin with that. So expect Canales to make some tough decisions. Expect him to be very objective when it comes to the roster and how he's evaluating these players. And I like his mind frame. And I've already said he has a lot of energy, but just hearing him speak about the football part was refreshing for me as a reporter who has been in the room with Fox, with Rule, with Wright.
Everybody. Yeah. He at one point I saw, if y'all don't follow Carolina Blitz on all social platforms, make sure y'all follow Carolina Blitz, because she has first off, she asks all the right questions, all the questions for the people, but then also she always has the great content, right? So make sure y'all follow her. But I saw you posted a clip, and he had the damn Morgan eyes for a minute. He got excited when you asked the question because the question that you were asking. And I love the fact that he was answering one with so much conviction and confidence, but he broke it down in so much detail where, like, yes, he's talking very high level stuff, but for people who maybe they don't know the X and O's, could truly understand the reasons why he was doing it. And it was a method to his madness. And so I think that was refreshing for me as well. I think we've seen, Matt Rule was a solid talker, right? But it was completely different. This is a different type of feeling. And I appreciate someone who's going to come in and say, hey, we're challenging the lineup. We're challenging the roster. Like, I appreciate that, not trying to be someone's friend, because I think some people thought that he was just going to be a really nice guy. But this man is saying, like, no, I'm here for a job. I'm here to make the Panthers better. So I'm excited about that. Speaking of the Panthers, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's easy and I post what I post on purpose. Let's not drink the Kool-Aid yet. I think people started drinking the Kool-Aid. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I think people started. She was always trying to make an appearance. I think people started drinking the Kool-Aid, and that's fine. I love the fact that they're liking what they're hearing, and they at least have more positive vibes toward the team. Right. Let's just see how. Let's wait for things to play out.
For sure. Last thing, and then we're about to get into Love Is Blind. If you don't follow Brian Burns, he posted something on IG maybe a couple hours ago.
Let me go right now.
And it was interesting. He was saying something about See Through the Storm, Return of the Spider. He was posting a lot of different pictures and everything. This is hot off the press. I don't know what this means, Vashti, and I'm not. You literally said it. You can't. You got to read the tea leaves. You can't, believe everything. But Brian doesn't just post stuff like that out of nowhere. And we know that Dan Morgan said he's meeting with his agent in Indy this week. Is this some tea leaves that we should be looking at, Vashti, based on your experience, based on what you've seen out of players before? Is this something, or is he just kind of showing off the awesome pictures that he had?
Oh no. When guys post stuff on socials, it always means something. Yeah. I just sorry. I was looking at the story. It always means something. I don't know what it means.
Right.
But it usually means something, yeah. But he also posted, and I was shocked, he posted Keep Pounding last week with a blue and a black heart. So, there's stuff going on. I expect the Panthers will franchise tag him. I think that's the smart move. And I don't mean franchise tag and trade.
Yeah.
You keep your entire defensive staff. They're going to want to retain those core pieces. I'm sure when Dave Canales was meeting with Ejiro Evero, they talked about, look, this is what I like about this defense. I was able to put together, a top 5, top 10 defense with these pieces. So don't come in here and start messing stuff up.
Right.
I'm sure because they had to do some selling, although everybody was under contract technically. There are ways for coaches to kind of finagle their way out of stuff. Right. And Evero was here, and the whole defensive staff is here. There were some promises made. So just keep an eye on that.
I'm excited. We're probably going to dig it. Something's going to happen by the time we have our next pod next Thursday. So we're going to dig a lot deeper into this particular topic. But I'm wearing this Charlotte hoodie for 2 reasons, Vashti. One is Love Is Blind was actually recorded here in Charlotte. So we're going to dig into that. But 2, shout out to 704 Shop. If you don't know, I'm one of their brand ambassadors. So if you want some 704 Shop gear, you see my tag here, _made for more. Go there. You get 10% off. Do it now. Go get 704 Shop stuff. It's lit. I got a lot of compliments at work today rocking this one. So make sure y'all go get it. Vashti, you ready for this?
Yeah.
It's about to be some smoke. All right. So for y'all that don't know, we've been posting about it. We talked about it last week. We're like, yo, Love Is Blind is going on. It's in Charlotte. We weren't sure if everybody was going to watch it this is my first time. Let me give you some context. This is my first time ever watching this show, Vashti.
Okay.
I'm not really big on like reality shows every now and then. Some hit, some don't. You just don't know what you're getting into. But this one, like I watched it one. I told you, shout out to my boy Jamal. He was on it, and that was the reason I watched it, right? Because he was posting. I'm like, yo, Jamal is on here. I gotta watch it, right? And so I started watching it, and then I was like, yo, this is actually pretty good. It's a lot of tea. It's very spicy. And you were joking about us being like the guys being more into it than our wives. Like Liv fell asleep a few weeks ago, and I was like, I'm gonna continue. I need to see what's going on in the next episode. You're gonna have to just catch up. I'm sorry, babe. You're gonna have to catch up. So yeah, I was heavily invested. And so through all of this, we're like, yo, we should pod about this. We should talk about this, and we're gonna break this down couple by couple, person by person. It's gonna be fun. We got profiles for them. We're gonna break it down, and look, it's no holds barred. You, like you said, Vashti, you put this out. In reality, you knew what was going on. Everyone's talking about it. We're definitely going to break this down and be honest about it. If you want, I'm about to drop it in the chat right now. If you want to come in, if you're like, Carlo, I have to say something about this particular couple. I got some tea. I got something to say about this couple. I just dropped everybody who's on IG Live right now. I'm seeing somebody on IG Live said, my husband did the same thing. It's hilarious. Look, that's what happened to me. Y'all better stop falling asleep. But if you are on IG Live, come over to YouTube, subscribe, and we can either see your comments pop up on the screen, or we'll have you join. So if you want to join, just hit that link. We'll see you pop up. All right. So the first couple, Kenneth and Brittany. This is, let me get that ready real quick. Kenneth and Brittany. All right, so Kenneth and Brittany, they didn't last too long, right? They were they the first couple. I mean, they might even won the first couple to no, they weren't the first couple, but they really instantly clicked. They knew that the other person was of a different race. They connected on a lot of different things, one being religion, all of those different things, right? But it completely switched once they got out on that honeymoon. I think personally that it switched after Kenneth had that conversation with AD about Brittany raising black kids, and it just completely switched. But I'm going to start with you, Vashti. What are your thoughts on Kenneth and Brittany, this particular situation? You can either go person by person, or you can talk about the couple. We about to break this down real quick.
Okay. I first of all, they didn't show a lot of their interactions in the pod. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get to see a lot of the foundational stuff that they did that supposedly led Kenneth to proposing. I think it's important to remember that this is a reality show. So everything is sped up, and I take some stuff with a grain of salt. Brittany seems like a cool chick. Kenneth said he had never dated a white woman before. And Brittany obviously likes black men because well, she said this wasn't her first one. This wasn't the first black man she's dated. And he said it. Okay. If we're keeping it a buck,
and we are,
I don't think Kenneth is into black or white women.
We're keeping it a buck.
Y'all can infer what you want from that.
We keep it in
I got different vibes from Kenneth. So it could have been Kenneth. I mean, it could have been Brittany. It could have been AD. It could have been whomever. Kenneth would have found a way to sabotage that relationship because Kenneth wanted whomever he called when he gaslighted Brittany in that conversation, saw her over there crying, and ended things. He went to his boyfriend, and he should have just kept it a buck.
Oh. I don't think I got anything to say. I think you said it the best. I think that here's the thing though. We're being honest. Here's the thing though, Vashti. You don't just switch up out of nowhere when you get home and just be on your phone. You weren't on your phone the whole time just checking doing work and all stuff. I get it. You're a principal. I have a homeboy whose child goes to that school. So like, I understand you're a principal, all those different things, but you just don't, you checking in with somebody. You were checking in with somebody, and the way that person responded when he said, I'm about to come over, they're like, okay, like come through. Like, it was interesting. It was very, very interesting. Right. Brittany she had such a sweet soul. Shout out to her. She went through a lot. I think initially she should have read between the lines early and recognized so you don't get your feelings hurt. But I don't know. It was
well, let's not front. I don't think Brittany was attracted to Kenneth either. Like, I don't think they were either one of each other's types.
I think she was trying though.
I thought Brittany saw those hips on Kenneth and was like,
She was I don't know. She didn't give me that vibe, Vash. I think she was really trying. I think
she tried, but she was not attracted to him.
But she even said something like, you don't show me the affection. I'm trying to show you the affection. She was definitely like showing him, like holding him, touching him, all those different things. He was not giving it back. So that's why she was like, okay, if you don't like, if any woman, like any man, if you try to, if the woman's showing affection, the man doesn't show it, the woman's not going to continue to try unless she really like, either as a pick me, like I'm the pick me, or it's like, nah, I'm gonna show you that I really like you.
Well, I think she made effort because of the process, but I don't think she was into him either. She tried more than he did. But when I saw him in that mirror in Dominican Republic with that do-rag and those hips and that wife beater, I was like, oh no.
Now when he had the hair
you
out,
remember, you might be too young for Girlfriends, but there was an episode on Girlfriends where there was a guy. Okay, you maybe not, but my ladies in the chat will know. Marcus had hips, and Marcus wore a girdle, and so Kenneth had Marcus hips, and so I don't know any woman who wants a man who's even look at the picture you posted. Kenneth's hips are bigger than hers in the picture. No.
But look, honestly, Brittany deserved better. He could have look, if you really weren't interested, you could have let her down a better way. And that's what I think.
Yeah. He was nasty. He was nasty about it. Yeah.
That's the thing, bro. Like, even if you're not interested in her or anybody on this show, period, you could have let her down a better way. You don't just literally switch up like that.
Yeah, he was. I'm really interested. First of all, also, I hate Netflix for doing these two episodes. That's mad corny. They used to break it up into 2 or 3 sections where they would, or two different ones. Now, because the show is so popular, they'll release 2 episodes and then make us wait a week. Just release I didn't think it was going to be 2 this week. I thought they would release up into the reunion, which to me was a smart move. Like, don't have it. Like, then we're going to start tuning out. Yes. But I say all that to say, Kenneth was real nasty about it. But I think that's just because Kenneth's flavor is a little more Scorpio than 1501.
Hey, Vashta, I rock with you, Vashta, for real. That was very, very, very slick. But yeah, I think, look, it's a way. If he even, I don't care. Look, at the end of the day, here at Pregame, we don't care what you like, what you got.
Right? Yeah.
Let's just be real. We don't care what you like. Do your thing. It's just be real about it.
Keep it a buck.
Stand on business.
Keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck. That's all we say. Like, it's no reason to. First off, if you do all that and then you on here because you want to get famous, right? That's what it comes off to me, right? But at the end of the day, like, you could have easily let her off better and just be like, look, this is what it is, honestly. And maybe he did that off camera. I don't know. But what we see on camera was terrible, Kenneth. Like, it was bad. Like, you don't just pull up out of nowhere and just like, you miss your phone that much. Like, come on, bro. Work is not.
And you brought up a good point about AD. I think for, culturally, I don't know how they, how they related. Yeah. And Kenneth did seem to be, and we'll talk about AD and Clay later, but he did seem to be a big supporter. He always looked at them and smiled. And I love that energy from Kenneth. I'm not mad at that. But, even if you're not into someone, the way he acted, the way he gaslighted her in that last scene and flipped the script. I mean, that was
wild.
Yeah. I went to his IG because I always wonder, like afterwards, after these guys.
I say, okay, detective.
Well, yeah, because is there any remorse? Is there any like, oh man, I didn't handle this well? I don't know what type of I'm sure they're limited with what they can speak about prior to the end of the show. But he did not present himself well in front of people. So I'm interested to see, one, I wonder how it was received by people at his school, because he is a principal at a charter school, I guess. And two, how his family felt about it.
Right. So somebody put it on the IG, and I told you, if you're on IG, come over to YouTube, subscribe so we can pull up your comments. But somebody said Diddy must have been on the other side of that phone. We can log off right now. You know you're wrong for that. But yeah, look, somebody said my man must have had stock in Apple because he was all on that phone.
He was in that phone because, like you said, Carlo, you a man. You know when a man is on that phone doing damage control, cutting up.
Man,
that man had to check in with homeboy that he called.
We're gonna talk about being on the phone and checking in a little later on too, because I got some tea I got from some people at work today. Shout out to everybody at work about some tea on Trevor. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. He's not on.
I need to see the picture, but okay.
Mullet, big dude.
Oh, mullet.
Yeah, mullet guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. But speaking of Teddy, can we talk about Rest of Tessa next week? Are you locked in on that? I haven't.
So I got to 13 and I kind of was like,
it's a lot.
I will revisit.
We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll think about it. It's a lot of
yeah.
clips.
I'll revisit. Maybe we can talk about that as a concept as far as people who lie or you know. But yeah, I have not finished it. It's like 50 episodes, 10 minutes. That's like 520 minutes. I wasn't sure if I was ready to invest that at the time. So
it's all good.
Maybe on a long flight, I'll go back to her.
No worries. But yeah, look, she done made a lot of money. We'll talk about that later, but she made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But before we move on, look, somebody said last he checked, Kenneth had his comments turned off.
There you go. For a reason.
Yeah. There's definitely a reason. All right, so let's move on to the next thing real quick. I want to say, Shad, his wife is sick. He has daddy duty, so that's the reason he's not here. But he says he's gonna try to get in. If he gets in, great. If not, it's all good. We'll see you next week, Shad. It's all love. Let's get into this is my franchise couple, man. Like if I had to pick a franchise couple, like franchise player, Johnny and Amy are my franchise player. I feel like they were the strongest couple. They are the strongest couple. We've only seen them have small issues. However, they're able to see through it. And I think like this is the epitome of the show of Love is Blind. They already talked about, like Amy said, like if I saw Johnny down the street, I probably would have stopped and talked to him. But everything in terms of their personality, what they stand for, what they believe in, all connected. So they're my favorite couple. Sebastian, what do you think?
I think they're the type of couple that would click on this and then we get to the reunion and they're not together anymore.
Ooh, that's some tea. Why?
That's just how I feel about it. But I mean, they're cute.
I don't know. It seemed genuine to me though. Like they seem like they might make it work because they both really want love. And some people, like honestly, throughout all the BS though, Vashti, there's some people who really come on this show, shockingly, right? Really come on this show to find love. They really do.
Absolutely. And some of them do. I've watched all 6. I've watched all the seasons of this.
Okay.
So this is, I'm not new to Love is Blind. You new to it, but there are a couple of there's a black couple from the Seattle franchise that I believe they're still together. And then the first season there was, and I think this was what really got it going. There was a black woman and a white guy who ended up getting together, and I forget their names. But that's what really caught. I think that's what really drove it. The relationship that they had, and how, you know, the whole premise of Love Is Blind, and two people who had, I don't think either one had ever really dated outside of their race. So that there have been successful couples on this. I think they're cute for TV. I don't know. It's just something about it that's giving flash in the pan for me.
I think I'm gonna disagree with you on here. Maybe it's my rookie vibes going off since this is my first season, but it for me, it just felt real. I think they went through some serious stuff, with especially her not wanting to go on birth control and decided she wants to do birth control, all those different things. Like it felt real. Like those are real things that people have to go through. She talked about getting the blessing from her father, like that could have been TV in terms of all of those different things and how it all worked out. But I think this one just probably feels to me the most genuine out of all the different couples. And it just seemed like they're the strongest, which is why they don't get a lot of screen time, because nothing really wrong. Like they're good. Like it's working.
They're definitely the strongest couple. I thought, and I see the comments, they had a cute interaction with her dad. I don't remember us meeting them meeting his people.
I think it was like his brothers and sisters or something came over to the house.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And they really liked her. His sisters and their significant others. That was a good meeting. We'll see. And it's something. It's not what we see on TV. It's just my spidey senses are giving me, like, we get to the reunion, because understand, like, I look at I watch reality show, so I kind of know that people know. I mean, before the show is aired, the editors know how it plays out. Oh, yeah. So this could be one of those situations where either they're going to be successful or they're editing it to make them look like this perfect couple, and they end up not working out long term. So
could be.
But it's something that's giving me TV, but not in real life.
I'm an optimist though, Vashti. Maybe that's my flaw, right? Because I'm like, I really want them to make it. I think she knows so much about him. Even they're like, do you know what he was going to be named before he was born? She's like, yeah, Stone. Like she said all the different stuff that like somebody really cared you would remember. But like you said, it's only entertainment. Like it's all entertainment, right? So people are really paying attention, and the editors are very intentional on what they're going to post, how they're going to post it, all those different things. So we'll see. I'm hoping for the best though. I really want them to make it. But you ready to get into some drama?
I mean, I'm always here for that.
All right. Don't forget, I posted in there. I want to post it again for everybody on YouTube. If you want to come in and talk about some of this, definitely join in. I'll see you when you pop up, and we'll love to have you.
Sierra, thanks, Sierra. Sierra said Lauren and Cameron. That was the couple from the first season. And then Brett and Tiffany were the couple from Seattle.
Boom.
Thanks, Shannon.
Oh, of course, y'all know.
Shannon is on it.
I didn't know any of that. I was like, okay, they could have said Jim and Jen. I'd have been like, yeah, okay, sounds right to me. All right. Oh, there we go. Jeremy and Lauren.
Oh yeah.
He spells his name kind of weird. So Jeremy.
Yeah, like what? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a different kind of guy. So Jeremy and Lauren, I was shocked. First off, I was shocked that he went with her. At first, I felt like he had a different vibe with Sarah Ann in the pods already. So I was shocked that they really he actually proposed to her. Both of them are very, very headstrong. At first, here's a crazy part about it though, Vashti. And I was talking to my wife about this when the earlier episodes. At first, I liked Jeremy. I thought he was different. Like he was just like he was confident in who he was. He wasn't gonna switch up. He talked about always wearing Henleys, always wearing Hawaiian shirts, and I was like, I wouldn't wear those, but I respect your confidence in those, and it's cool. But then he just switched up out of nowhere, and I was like, who is this guy? And then the whole situation happened at Lost and Found, which is interesting. We're gonna get into that a little bit, but I was just really shocked at how he just literally switched up. Lauren was interesting too. Let's not she's not
Oh yeah,
That's the victim here. She ain't gonna, like, yeah, she had some stuff to say this, like how she brought up Sarah Ann and how he was doing all this stuff in front of her family. I'm like, yo, like, read the room. Like, he just met these people. It was interesting. What are your thoughts on Jeremy and Lauren and how this all played out?
I think they were probably a disaster from the start. Jeremy is one of those guys who is an a-hole for the sake of being an a-hole. I've worked with a lot of Jeremys in corporate America. I think people like him are deeply insecure, but they mask that in overconfidence.
Come on now.
And so with him, he is probably somebody who requires, like, he needs the attention and the boost of associating with different women. It's like a conquer thing for him. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna pick Lauren knowing I like Sarah Ann, but I'm also gonna give Sarah Ann vibes so she chases me. He needs that as validation for himself. This is what I sense. And Lauren is a firecracker. Like, I think she and I think that Jeremy was wrong, but I also think Lauren is the one that thrives off of, like, conflict. So she wants, like, she's one of those, you don't love me if we not arguing. You know, those type of women. Because she's like one of those, like, yeah, I mean, I need that energy. Like, let's fight so we can make up type of energy. And you got it. And her dad even said it, like, you got to have strong, tough skin with her. She had all the smoke for Jeremy. I love the way she kind of played it like she didn't know what his like. First of all, first of all, why when did this sharing locations thing come up? Like, when did we start sharing locations? One, but two, like, bro, don't share the load. She tried to act like I didn't know where you were, and then he was like, well, I stayed in the parking lot the whole time, and then she was like, no, you didn't. You were north of Uptown. I saw where you were.
Checkmate.
So I just think, you know, they weren't made for each other, but and Sarah Ann, she's really one of those, like, down low, dirty. She's one of those ones that talk to the men at work. She probably be at Wachovia 3, all up in guys' faces for free lunch. Oh, nasty thing.
Hey, you know the crazy part about it though? Shout out to AD for checking her though.
Oh, like, yeah.
I don't care if it was for Laura Ann. Like, just shout out to you being a real one and checking her on that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And then Sarah Ann fell victim real quick, as people who are vindictive do. Right. Oh, I don't deserve to be talked to like this. I don't deserve. Girl, bye.
I'm not here to make friends, but then why do you care? Why do you care what they say? Why are you taking it so serious if you didn't care what they said? Let me backtrack real quick before we get into that pool lake house situation. So I feel like the whole time I was like, Jeremy and Lauren is square peg round hole. Like, I'm really confused on how this meshed. It just didn't work to me. Lauren was somebody who seems as though she's very successful and she knows what she wants, but she loves to argue and she loves to be right. And she's not going to stop until she is right. And even though, like, and the reason I felt that way is because even though she's saying all these terrible, well, to Jeremy, terrible things around, like, it sucks that you got to change. I got to change your name in my phone from fiance to Jeremy. She wants to be chased. Like, she wants him to say something and keep on going. And Jeremy is arrogant enough to be like, well, you don't care. So I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I think that Jeremy is the type of person who, one, is not used to the attention of girls coming to him. And so when he gets it, he's like, I want everybody. I want everything because I'm not used to this. And it backfired. But one thing I would say is, though, like, even though Lauren is a bit much, she handled, I feel as though, like, it was very like chestnut checkers type of move when she confronted him about Lost and Found. One thing, I'm not a person that goes out all the time, but I've been in Lost and Found. And everybody know, if you've been around that area, Lost and Found does not have a parking lot. It does not have a parking lot. And so when he was like, we're in the parking lot, I was like, oh, this man is lying. I looked over to my wife and I was like, he is lying. He is lying. And the fact that, like, I don't understand why, like, me and my wife, like, we've been married for a while now. So we share location just to make sure you're safe, right? It's not the fact of, like, you doing something, but I want to make sure you're safe. you know what I'm saying? We got kids. We want to make sure everything's good. Y'all just met each other. I don't understand why you're sharing screens and maybe not sharing screens, excuse me, sharing locations. And maybe he did that for the sake of not thinking that she was going to see it and was like, I shared my location, blah, 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 blah. But bruh, she got you, cuz you know what I'm saying? And granted, everybody know, you know the saying, Vashti. Ain't nothing after 12 open, but what? Legs.
Yeah. Something else. Something in legs.
Yeah. Probably Waffle House. Waffle House and legs. We're gonna say Waffle House and legs. What, like 5:30? You get home at 5:30.
I mean, that in and of itself is extremely disrespectful. I mean, extremely disrespectful. But to compound that with the lie and then compound that with the fact that you were with this chick from the pods, just messy, just very messy.
It was
Lauren is gonna need the type of man that'll check her and not in
I know what you mean.
At me on some old, don't come at me on some old women don't know. Listen, I am a strong-minded woman, and if I say this and if the man is strong enough to say no, and he's right, she needs somebody who is strong enough and wise enough. See, strong women will follow men. You just gotta have your stuff together.
Come on.
You just gotta have your stuff together. And so if we will follow good leaders, and she needs a good leader who will allow her to have her strength, but also know when to rein that in. And Jeremy is way too insecure for that.
Speaking of leading and wanting to be leaders, Clay and AD. So this was an interesting one, man. I was rooting for them. At first I thought she was gonna go with Matthew for a minute. Matthew gave me this is about to be bad. Matthew gave me like, I'm gonna shoot up something vibes for a moment. I ain't gonna hold you, Vashti.
I'm trying to remember which one Matthew was.
Matthew was the one that I have 15 questions for you, and I'm gonna ask you this. Don't ask me.
He was kind of weird. Yeah.
He gave me some interesting vibes. So I thought at first she was falling for him, but then Clay came through and did his thing. This was Jeffrey Dahmer is a better way to say it. Olivia, you're right. It definitely gave me Jeffrey vibes. This is an interesting one, man. I don't know about this. Like it's a lot of red flags that pop up around here, Vashti. I'm not sure. And I think that AD really wants to be married. And I don't think Clay really wants it like that. I don't think he does. I don't think he's here for the social media. I think he really likes her. And I think that if AD was okay with saying like, hey, we don't have to get married right now. We can kick it. We can be cool. We can get to know each other a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Down for it. But the idea of marriage so soon is Clay like, I don't know. And the fact that like he's throwing in some of the trauma that he's seen from his parents. And I'm not saying that what parents go through, like Clay, I mean, AD's mama said this, like your parents, what your parents went through is what your parents went through. I get that. But at the same time, kids are still affected by that in some kind of way. So I'm not saying that what he is experiencing is not validated or it's not true. However, you cannot let that scar you to the point where, hey, I think that what my father did is what I'm going to do. There's plenty of times where I've heard from people before. It's like what my father did or what my mama did is exactly what I don't want to do. So I'm going to do the complete opposite. So I think like he's using that, which I think is valid. He may have some scarring there, but I think he's using it as an excuse of, I don't want to hurt you. I want to be a better man. Interesting. I can go on and on in there, but we'll get into it. Vashti, what do you think?
Well, first, I want to give a shout out to AD. I know people who know her personally. I've heard varied things, but I'm going by what I see on the show. Okay. I think she's been a great representative for Black women, what we embody. She's a straight shooter. She's intelligent. I love her relationship with her mom and how her mom poured into her on camera. Mm-hmm. She seems to be grounded, loving, and she is serving body, adi. Okay. So we are shouting out AD right now for that. Because sometimes we don't get a good good representative, and I think she is she's giving what we usually see or what is usually portrayed opposite of us when she is more representative of kind of how we move as Black women. So shout out to her for that. Clay is a former athlete, okay? And you have to understand that. And you have to, with that comes a certain level of cockiness, a certain level of a certain lifestyle that comes with that. So, he went to South Carolina. He was on the track team. I know women's track, or that the South Carolina track team has been one of the better programs for a pretty long time, especially on the women's side. But Clay is running for marriage, and he went on a show where marriage is a goal.
Not being a track star running for marriage.
Right. And he's making excuses for cheating already. Like, Clay has some big red flags. He seems to be goal oriented though. He seems to be about his business. But he wants to be a playboy. And so, he wants to have his main chick, but he also wants to have the freedom to be able to move how he wants to move. A la, oh, well, I got to be at the lake in the morning, so I'm not going to stay in Pineville. I'm going to stay at my house and then leave her by herself. Well, invite her to come to the house. Like, what are we doing? What is the point? So he has some questionable ways about him. And so he really needs to grow up. I don't know. And what is he, 28, 29?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think 80 is, or maybe he's 30 and she's 32.
They're close to the same age, I believe.
He's not on her level maturity wise.
Yeah.
He's just not there. And he's one of those guys who probably won't get married until he's like 40. And then he'll marry a young chick. He'll be the old man in the club, and he'll get a young chick. And then, he can't keep up with her. And so now he's looking whack because he can't keep up with the young chick because he burned himself out because he wanted to be in the club.
You've seen this one before.
Like, this is what Clay is. And then the young girl's going to cheat on him because, karma always wins. So Clay got to grow up. I think that I don't see this one working out, and I don't think it'll be AD's fault at all. Like, the way she's been treating him, it's been, from what we've seen, she's been strong in her conviction and held him accountable, but still very sweet and overly understanding.
She's done it. She's done everything she could. Like, it's nothing I could say about 80 where I'm like, 80, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did that. Like, she handled everything with grace, with patience, with class, all of that. Now, you tried me a little earlier, Vashti, when you were saying I don't know nothing about girlfriends, right? But I'm about to use a Martin example here. Do you remember Martin, the song? I mean, the episode when he's like, "Come on, baby, here, baby, yeah, baby."
Yes,
That's how Clay sounded to me every time he say, "Baby, hey, baby, 80, baby, talk to me, baby." Like, I just did not like the way he was talking to her. I'm like, yo, like, bro, like, just say her name, like, baby. Like, I just wasn't feeling it. But that's just me. That's just a little pet peeve of mine. But Clay, bro, like, I think you hit a spot on the head. I think you hit it right, the nail on the head, Vashti. I feel as though that he wants to have his cake and eat it too. I don't think that he wants to have he doesn't like the idea of checking in, of saying like, hey, like, this is where I'm at. This is what I got going on. And all you have to do is just tell AD, like, hey, I'm going here. Do you want to come? If she says no, that's fine. But at least you tell her what's going on and inviting her to that. I don't have anything truly bad to say about AD. I think she handled it with grace, with confidence. I think she represented herself really well. Whether they make it, I don't think they're going to make it. But I think that she's going to be fine, whatever she does moving forward, because like, she really handled this particular situation well. I think to me, it seemed like she was well, like, she had good media training and she handled everything
Well, she was a Hornets dancer. She's used to being in front of the people, being personable. And I think it's important to remember, like, these people are put in these pods, and I think over a 10-day period, you're supposed to be engaged. So you go from being a single man outside, and then you sign up for the show. 10 days later, you're engaged. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot for even an emotionally mature man. So for an emotionally immature man, it's tough. They're the type that I don't think, and they're a very good looking couple. I'm just looking at the picture. They may be the type that don't make it on the show, but make it outside of the show.
Yeah.
If not, I would not. 80 is the type of chick because she's so likable. Like when the show started, I think she had, and I always go and look at this. I think she had like 3,000 followers before it started. It went, well, maybe a little more. It wasn't anything crazy. Yeah. Over the course, I mean, she might be over 200 now. I watched it go to 40,000. I watched it go to 180,000. I'm sure it's over 200,000 now. 200,000 followers because she's likable. She's the type of woman who get a spinoff show, a spinoff dating show.
Yeah, I can see it.
I would watch it.
Yeah, I would see it. She's definitely got the personality to do so. I think the only thing that I can like say about, like, I know we definitely just like trashed Clay here. I think one thing that I can say that I respected about it, at least he said something about it instead of like not saying anything about it. And then at the very end, he's like, skirt, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least he said something about it. And so I can respect that he potentially may be trying to get there. We don't know, but he could potentially be trying to get there. So the fact that he even said something, I have to give you like hats off to you on that piece. But let's get into this Sarah Ann AD situation.
Somebody said, "Who is KW?" I think Clay don't want to be with AD. Got to be the last. Bro, come on now, come on,
Carrie, you a fool.
Come on, that's your friend.
That's
come on, man.
Brothers, man. That's
not
funny.
the lashes. And he also agrees with Sarah Ann. Sarah, and he's just, is KW the controversial one? Because it seems like he's trying to be controversial.
Hey, man, he said, y'all know them lashes. So one thing I would say about the lashes, though, like I could tell she definitely got them done when she went to go meet her mom and everything, because the eyes were red. Now, you know, you see like when the eyes are red, you like, you probably got your lashes done. But I mean, look, that's 80s style. Let it. She felt like she was cooking. Like she wore them with confidence. That's what it was. He said, y'all know them lashes were insane.
Katie said Sarah Ann was standing on business. All right, KW. All right.
Business. Let's talk about that real quick. Sarah Ann pulled up. To this thing. And she put up with confidence, though. She put up with a lot of confidence, knowing that everything happened with the whole situation at Lost and Found. She's the one that initiated the interaction, messaging him, saying it was great getting to know you, meet him. So that fact that she had to like search this man on Instagram, find him, make sure it was him, then message him and say like, hey, one thing, look, the word of the day watching these episodes is fishing. There were so many people on this last episode that was fishing, trying to get them to reel them in. And Sarah Ann did that. We'll get into Jessica and Jimmy in just a little bit that did that. We'll get into Trevor and Chelsea, and Trevor did that a little bit. But Sarah Ann fished. She was trying to reel him in, saying, if it doesn't work out, you can always hit me up. Slide in the DMs, basically. What are your thoughts about that situation with Sarah Ann doing that, Vashti, but also the situation where AD stood on business for a friend, and then just for humanity in terms of,
well, yeah, shout out to AD for like, you know, for saying something about it. Instead of talking behind her back, because that's what most people would have done. Oh, she trifling. Oh, you know,
right.
You know, which she is. But so I'm glad AD was upfront and took her grievance to her woman to woman.
Right.
I think that I already said how I feel about Sarah Ann. I just think, watch your man around her at Wachovia 3. Okay.
Hey, and then they got on jet skis after everything. They're like, yo, look, screw it. I got your man. We about to get on jet skis. Crazy. But the crazy part about it, like, I'm shocked. Like, Carrick, if you have time, bro, please hit the link. Because how are you picking Sarah Ann's side? I don't know how you're picking Sarah Ann's side right now. It's pretty interesting. I need to know why you are picking Sarah Ann's side. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next thing real quick. The last one, I saved them for last for a reason, because this is probably, to me, the most toxic couple on this show. Jimmy.
First of all, Carlo, that picture of Jimmy is wild. What does he have on? That's his picture?
That was I didn't Photoshop this.
Those look like women's jeans that he has on with no socks and loafers. And that is not.
He probably had it on there. It was like, this gonna F him up. I got this picture. Yeah,
that looks a mess.
Jimmy, oh, is this is tripping? This ain't tripping.
That's tripping. I know he didn't put those jeans on like that. And that stance, it is giving.
What's it giving? Yeah, Jimmy and Chelsea, the most toxic couple. You know what I'm saying? I think Chelsea averaged a triple-double in terms of insecurity, pick me, and goofiness. It was
because Chelsea knows she looks like a potato sack with a long chin. Chelsea knows she's not cute. Where in the world did she get Megan Fox from? Chelsea is built bad. She's not cute in the face. We've never seen her without makeup. Her hair is thin around the edges.
You look dusty. You're not that
cute. Look dusty.
You're not that cute.
Well, you're not that cute.
Your hair's uneven.
I mean, basically, it's giving ill. So that's why she's so insecure. And then it's like, manufacturing arguments, mad at that man for going out for an hour and a half to have a drink with his friends.
Bruh, come on now.
Like, I thought Jimmy was going to stand on business when he was like, I'm not willing to do that. And I don't think Jimmy really loves this chick. I think this is one of those things that's for TV. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. All of this, I love you, this, I love you, that. But if we keeping it all the way a buck,
and we are,
I was shocked when I saw Jimmy's family.
I wasn't.
What?
I wasn't. I can see it. The sister looked just like him.
It's giving like giving.
What is it giving, Vashta?
I don't know. It's giving Monroe, Backwoods.
It's definitely giving. Yeah, it's definitely giving
it's
country.
Giving. I was shocked. Like Jimmy looks like he comes from a more refined background, or he presents that way.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why he's into Chelsea, because I mean, looking at his family, she fits right in.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense. And I was shocked at first too. Like,
Olivia said what I wanted to say. Please put her comment on there because I didn't want to offend. There it is.
There it is. There it is. It's said. Oh, somebody look. KW said, Carrick said he's from a small town.
Say that.
Yeah. Yo, I'm weak. I'm done. Y'all. I can't. Look, I can't. I am done with y'all. Y'all need to go home.
She's right about that too.
Yeah, I need to go.
I got that too, Olivia.
It's something, right? This is her second marriage. She says she know what she's doing. That or she can cook. You know, a way to a man's heart is a stomach, they say. But here's the thing, like she is extremely insecure, and I think the biggest thing around her insecurity is the fact that she was able to see who he was talking to at first with Jessica.
Oh yeah.
Knowing that what this person looked like, he really liked this person, and like she wasn't secure in herself. And I think, and here's the thing, she always says that. And Trevor asked her, like, hey, if you'd have went to me first, would you have said would you say yes? She was like, oh, I was always going to pick him. I honestly feel as though that she would have picked Trevor if Jessica wasn't interested in Jimmy. The fact that Jessica was interested in Jimmy, she was like, oh, somebody's interested in this person. Like, I feel as though like he likes me. So I feel like I have a one up on somebody who I feel as though may be nicer looking than me. So I'm going with Jimmy. But even though Trevor is the person she would always go for, and they had a deeper, stronger connection than what that she had with Jimmy. I think that's the reason she picked Jimmy.
I mean, well, she is a pick me. And you know, all things shown, Jimmy would not have gone with Chelsea. We saw when they had that first hug and he rolled his eyes. And it was like, I just don't, I don't know. Her insecurities, like, I think every woman has maybe small insecurities about something, one thing, or she's just completely insecure. It is terrible. And it's cringe. It's cringe how bad she is. It's cringe. And it's like, Jimmy, like, even though you look like a woman from the waist down in this picture that we're viewing, like, why would you put up with that? Why would you put up with that? I really thought he was going to stand on business where he said, I'm not willing to compromise on that. And I was like, yes. And then I don't know. She starts. It's just I just don't know how people deal with that.
It's got to be something we don't know, Vashti, because like literally it got to be something, because that's what's keeping him around, because he thought about it and he was like, you know what, like maybe I'll try. I thought he was going to stand on business. I was like, yo, run. All the red flags are there. You haven't told me you love me today. I told you 5 times today. Oh yeah, you did. Like, come on, bro.
Disgusting.
Like, run.
Jimmy should have moved like Kenneth in this situation. I would have loved that when she was like, all right, well, I'll get my stuff. I'm out.
Bye.
Like, because Chelsea is the one who she needs constant validation.
Yeah.
Constant, because she's so insecure about herself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's not going to change because, you know, I already said about her physical features.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
Megan Fox though.
Yeah. Okay. Portia brought up a good point. Jimmy might be insecure as well.
That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. I know I don't care what he said about it. He felt it. He felt it when he saw Jessica. He was like, dang, I made it.
Oh, yeah.
Decision. Like,
When Jessica said you're going to need an EpiPen because you're going to be gagged, I said, and they didn't even give us the opportunity. And I'll go on Twitter and look at the comments. Yeah. They didn't even give us an opportunity to see how he reacted when he saw her Instagram page.
But I know they got so much footage that they're not showing. But I would love to see like when he found out what she looked like, because he said that somebody said that she looks like Kim K.
Jeremy showed him.
So yeah, so you know it's there. I know he responded like, "Dang, I made the wrong decision." And I mean, look, here's the thing. Granted, I think like at this point in time, we have to keep in mind the timeline that these people are on this show, and they're not going to just completely just be strongly committed to their person because it's only been, call it 2-3 weeks, if whatever it is. So the fact that like they said what they said, like what Jimmy said in front of Jess, where I'm like, you were my number one, you're still my number one still. I was like, oh, you're doing a little too much, but you got to keep in mind the timeline. But what Chelsea did to Trevor around like oh my God, you look good. Why'd you cut the mullet? Like she was definitely on some pick me vibes. And I saw
Chelsea said she's done the work and gone to therapy. Like, no.
But it's been like that all season. His hairline looked inflamed all season. All right. So I don't know what's going on. Somebody said they thought it was steroid scalp. I am weak. I never heard of steroid scalp, but y'all are wilding in this chat tonight.
I never paid attention to his hairline. I didn't know it was bad.
Go back and look. Whenever he gets either nervous, embarrassed, blushing, it just turns red in the front and red in the back.
Oh.
It was like that the whole season. I was like, what is going on? What is this? But yeah, it was like that all season. But yeah, yes, Trevor is Chelsea's guy. She said she always went for those type of people. She loved the mullet thing. Remember, he said have a mullet. She's like, oh my God, I always run for people like that.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think Trevor would deal with what Jimmy dealing with. Oh, but you had some tea about Trevor.
Oh yeah. So this is off the press. So I was talking to a few people at work or whatnot. I don't know if this is true, so don't try to, rag me if it's not. But apparently on TikTok and all these different social medias or whatever, Trevor had a whole girlfriend coming into the show.
Oh.
He had a whole girlfriend. He got a girlfriend, whatever, and then like completely ghosted her when he was on the show, came back and told her about all this stuff. So it was a whole bunch of news. Also, there's a rumor going out. I don't know if it's true, Vashti, but it's a rumor going out saying Jimmy Boy was engaged before.
Oh.
He gave him.
We'll find that out during the reunion then.
Mm-hmm.
Messy.
So there's a lot of like weird information around if this is true or not. Like I said, don't take it from me. We talked about before on the podcast, either the source or the streets. This is the streets. I don't know. People told me about this, and I was like, okay, it could be true. The streets
be knowing though.
Streets know. The streets know, Vashti. I don't know. Real quick before we close out tonight, we are a little over 7 minutes over. What are your predictions out of the couples? How many you think are going to make it? Who are the people that you think are going to make it to the end? Now, I'm not saying make it after the show, Vashti, because I know you said some people are not going to make it after the show. But who do you think is going to make it like towards the end of the show during the reunion? They may still be together, or we may find out. But who do you think is going to make it to the end?
I heard about one couple, and I don't want to. I'm not going to spoil it. No, and these are the streets.
Okay,
so I'm not going to spoil it because it would spoil it. It would really spoil it.
Okay.
So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody made it.
Wow. Okay.
I think maybe the boring couple.
Is that not boring? It is boring because it's not.
They'll say yes at the altar. They're a snooze fest.
Johnny and Amy, shout out to Johnny and Amy, man. Shout out to Amy too. Like all y'all, like, bruh, no, they're the strongest couple. They're the franchise couple. I want them to make it. Look, so with all this being said, you've seen 6 seasons, Vashti. Is Love Blind? Is Love Blind?
No.
I agree. I think that you got to have some type of level of attraction. But sometimes for some people, like we seen with Johnny and Amy, maybe the level of attraction is just basically your mind.
Yeah, but love could be blind. Like, I mean, the premise of the show is you meet the person, y'all talk, and then of course you see each other in person. Yeah. So there was a connection, and then of course the physical could potentially deepen or take it the opposite direction, which makes this. So love is never blind.
No.
But you might be willing to compromise more on the looks because you know the person's personality before you meet them.
I say love ain't blind. Love just has shades on. You know what I'm saying? For y'all, love had shades on for a minute. It was in a deep sleep, and it woke up, and you recognize whether you want to move forward or not. Like that's the biggest thing. Like you just have a moment where you get to know somebody, and then you realize whether you really like that person or not. But like everybody has a type, including looks. Absolutely. Everybody has a type. You know what I'm saying? And whether you explore for a moment and realize like, yeah, this ain't it. Like I've been wrong with you for about a few weeks now and the looks ain't looking for me anymore. So I'm up out of here. So that's what it's all about, man. But I appreciate you all. Do you have any last things before we close, Vashti? This was fun.
No, I enjoyed this. I just wish we can revisit. I'd love to revisit it after the reunion.
I'm with it. I'm working on a few things too. I'll tell you offline, Vashti, when we close. But I'm excited. I think we're definitely going to bring this back. But yeah, this is fun. I appreciate all the engagement in the chat. From I know IG Live went down for a minute. I tried to pull it up. I know you missed a little bit of the stuff that we were talking about in terms of Jimmy and Chelsea was spicy. But just come over to YouTube, subscribe, and rewatch it. Definitely, if you want to see your chats up on the screen, like this one right here, definitely join. Pull up to the game.
That's why Jimmy likes Chelsea, huh?
Hey. You say it might. Never mind. I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. But look, we always talk about this is your place where you can get all the fusion of pop culture. We talk about pop culture. We talk about sports as well. I promise you're not gonna find another podcast like this. We usually have our co-host Shot in the building too. But tonight, me and Vashti held it down. Continue to pull up to the pregame. We appreciate y'all pulling up on us. We out of here. We'll see y'all next Thursday, 7:30. Make sure y'all pull up on me.
Pull up on me. Pull up on me.
We out of here, y'all. Peace.